The Nameless Bookstore, eh? Uh-oh. Something's not right here.
Where's the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams.
It's all a dream.
It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
This practical work, written by Sigmund Freud for a psychologist, describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares.
You're fucking crazy!
Well, I don't know about all that. Nice. Okay. Sanity. Our dwindling sanity. We're shaken. The ordeals you have gone through have left their mark, but you still manage as best you can. You keep your mind busy in order to chase away doubts and painful memories. You still have some way to go. Who knows where your mind could lead you along the paths of insanity.
You're insane! You're insane!
I think last we left off was... we haven't seen these ones. In the tunnels under the Hawkins mansion, Pierce witnessed the disemboweling of Officer Bradley by a man with a monstrous appearance. The men in gowns and their ritual had not succeeded in affecting the veteran. However, the brutal death of Bradley, the discovery of the identity of his killer, whom he recognized as the dead Charles Hawkins, as well as the latter's superhuman strength, managed to strike fear into him. Pierce still does not know if he should believe what he saw. He may even put these visions of horror to the shock caused by the death of Bradley, or he may put it down to a lack of oxygen provoked by the rockfall. Macabre discovery. Searching through the cellars of the Riverside Institute, Pierce entered a room that he first took for a morgue, but the advanced state of decay and the corpses that lay about the place quickly made him realize that he was wrong. Nothing could justify the presence of such a charnel house in a hospital. The putrid smell and the total absence of respect for human life, as witnessed by this room, profoundly shocked Pierce, costing him some of his sanity. Here we go. The weirdness of Francis Sanders' death went far beyond anything Pierce had ever seen. Lifted off his feet by an invisible force, the poor man's body was carried into the air before being violently thrown against the bars of his hiding place. Pierce, powerless, watched the limbs break and Sanders' body crumble to the ground. During long moments of agony, the detective saw nothing that could explain this event. Weakened by his wounds and the operations he could remember undergoing, Pierce begins to question his ability to tell the difference between reality and the nightmares that haunt him. Malleus Bestiarium. Pierce read an ancient treatise. Treatise? I never know how to say that word. The Malleus Bestiarium. This bestiary makes an inventory of numerous creatures from the occult world or parallel dimensions. The very nature of its book makes it an unholy book. The very nature of its knowledge makes it, yeah. By reading it, Pierce lost some of his sanity.
Take your mind and shatter it.
Okay. It is in Francis Shambler. It is in Francis Sanders' private gallery that Pierce discovers the identity of the Shambler, a huge artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins. When Pierce approached it, a creature burst forth from the painting and immediately chased after him. This beast from another dimension has such a hold on the mind of a person who finds himself in its presence that a simple glance in its direction is enough for Pierce to lose some sanity. Pierce finally managed to send the shambler back into the painting using a dagger engraved with a strange symbol. But this encounter has left its mark on the psyche of the investigator. Still under the influence of the creature, he almost stabbed his own hand. And for occult, I think that one... Dagger of the Ancients. This exceptional dagger of Ottoman origin probably dates from the 16th century? It bears the elder sign on its hilt. It apparently belonged to Pargali Ibrahim Pasha, Grand Vizier at the court of Suleiman the Magnificent. Legend tells that Pargali used the symbol on the dagger to protect the court from a creature that haunted the mirrors of the palace. What is certain is that Suleiman had his vizier executed. Did he fear him after this demonstration of power? Extract from the Art and Mysticism, Francis Sanders' Forgotten Objects. Oh, there we go. Painting of the Shambler. The painting was exposed in Francis Sanders' gallery, but I think that the creature no longer requires it for movement. It went to hunt down Sanders in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. I do not know where it comes from, but one thing is sure, it's starving. Did I succeed in sending it back to its world? I am not sure. Extract from the Notebook of Edward Pierce, Private Detective. Alright. There we go. Let's do some searching. Hello?
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth.
Well, that's ominous as fuck.
Just gonna do a quick little Darkwater history. Don't care about Darkwater. Doing their right on mind would.
I'll never get used to that stench of human arrogance.
Ah. Alright, well, we can use this now. Darkwater history. I'm no history nerd. I'm here for the occult. Interesting decorations. Handbook on anatomy and dissection. More medicine. Hello? Would you read the book?
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
The good stuff. This will affect your destiny. Okay. This collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Hey! We're almost there. We're almost pros. What do we have here?
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the texts of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Alright.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood?
Death.
Seems like amateur work.
Well, probably. Cultists are more interested in rites and sacrifices, right?
Whom does this footprint belong?
We have a blood trail.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What killed all these animals?
That's a bad sign, isn't it?
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Oh.
What the? Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol
that.
rejected Hawkins. What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Oh.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
We're glitching. The Matrix is falling apart.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
To stop the dreams.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain hundreds of years ago. The star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. What? Hello?
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
A strange amulet. The pendant is in the shape of a large dog. I don't know what it represents. I might find out more by searching the bookstore. Ooh, we're so close. We're an expert. We're almost a master. All right. Oh.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
I assume
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Azathoth, and other horrors. Collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham anthology. Yep.
Arkham editions? How many volumes are there in this collection?
I am unsure. Seems to be a lot. I'm guessing they have something to do with this. Let's consult the clues. The Hound. Do not make the mistake of taking this jewel for an inanimate object. The soul of a powerful sorcerer, devourer of bodies of the Leng cult, a sect from Central Asia, lies in this jade amulet. His very characteristic form, a massive hunting dog, represents the transformation of the sorcerer into a man-eating ghoul. Whoever unearths the amulet and wears it around his neck is at risk of the sorcerer's wrath. The latter will return in the shape of a formidable hunter to track and dismember all defilers.
Things are not looking good.
Haha.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Perhaps we ooh. Nice. Alright. Maybe we can stop wandering around all blind like. Here we go.
I finally understood that we were only pieces.
Wait.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still
Not
standing
even.
protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
As much as I agree, I don't think we have much of a
Dear
say in
friend,
that.
I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
That's a problem.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Grail?
The Chalice of Knowledge.
He said red drops, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put 5 in there. Then we have the
The
chessboard.
Queen has little protection.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
4? Maybe? Man, I gotta get better at these puzzle games. Oh. And then we go Azathoth. This
Drake
one.
talked about a particular volume.
It's attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know it. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens.
Do I
as my
not include the
apprehension grows.
Queen?
We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Which would make this 3. Hey! Uh-oh. What? Awesome. Awesome indeed.
No! No, I want to see more. More than any man has ever seen.